Why the chosen ones are so good and so dangerous. Have you ever had the strange feeling that there's something different inside you? Like there's a silent force, ancient, powerful, that keeps trying to rise, even when the world tries to silence you. Maybe you've never said it out loud, but deep down, you've always known, you don't quite belong here. Maybe you are one of the chosen ones. And what if I told you that the truly chosen aren't just the kindest people? They're also the most dangerous. In this video, you'll discover why those who carry such an intense light also hold within them a power strong enough to shake everything around them. And by the end, you might just realize that same light also shines inside you. Since the dawn of humanity, certain people have emerged who seem to walk between worlds. They're not just wiser, more compassionate, or more courageous. They are different. They carry a unique frequency, a presence that unsettles those who live in mediocrity, and comforts those who stand at the edge of the abyss. They are souls marked by a mission that goes far beyond human logic. They are the chosen ones. But don't be fooled. Being chosen doesn't mean untouchable purity or absolute holiness. The truth is far more complex and far more dangerous. Because inside every chosen one lives not only light, but also shadow. A hidden force, almost wild in nature, capable of destruction or salvation, of healing or devastation. And it all comes down to one thing: how that power is awakened. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the essence of the chosen. We'll explore their pain, their gifts, their weaknesses, and their strength. We'll understand why they love more intensely, suffer more deeply, and why, when they awaken, no one remains unchanged in their presence. Get ready to see with new eyes those who reshape the course of history, and maybe to discover that you're one of them. What sets a chosen one apart isn't their appearance or their words. It's the path they walked to get here. None of them were forged on easy roads. They were sculpted by pain, molded by rejection, by loss, by loneliness. From an early age, they faced trials that would break the spirit of ordinary people. But somehow, for some unknown reason, they don't break. They grow stronger. And that's exactly what makes the kindness of the chosen ones so special. It's not naive, childish, or shallow. It's a mature compassion, conscious, shaped by suffering. They know what it means to lose. They know what it means to be betrayed. They know what it feels like to carry the weight of the world on their shoulders with no one to share it with. And still, they choose to love. That choice is what sets them apart. While many become cold, cynical, or vengeful in the face of pain, the chosen one transforms wounds into healing. They feel the pain of others as if it were their own. They can sense the sadness behind a smile, the fear hidden in silence, the anger that comes from helplessness. Their empathy isn't a gift. It's a conditioned response. A skill born from the emotional survival in a world that rejected them from the very beginning. But don't be mistaken. Those who have faced pain so closely also know fury. And inside every chosen one, no matter how calm they may seem, lies a hidden force. An invisible energy, deep and dangerous. They are like dormant volcanoes, peaceful on the surface, but burning within. And if provoked, if they witness injustice pushed beyond the limit, or if someone they love is in danger, that force awakens. And once it awakens, there is no turning back. Behind the serenity of the chosen lies something most people can't comprehend. A level of perception that goes beyond human senses. They don't just look, they see. They can perceive what lies deep within a person's heart. They detect lies hidden behind the sweetest words. They feel the falsehood beneath even the most delicate gestures. They see beyond the mask. This heightened vision, however, is both a gift and a curse, because seeing too much means carrying the burden of knowing what others would rather ignore. It means sensing betrayal before it happens. It means detecting danger before it takes form. It means anticipating heartbreak, rupture, disappointment, and still choosing to go on. And this ability, silent, sharp, instinctive, is what makes the chosen ones so dangerous to those who plot in the shadows. Because no one can fool a true chosen one for long. They don't need hard evidence or physical proof. Truth vibrates like an invisible frequency, and they feel it. They recognize it. And once they've seen into someone's essence, they never forget it. That's why, when a chosen one places their trust in someone, that trust isn't ordinary. It's absolute, total, sacred. When they give their loyalty, they don't offer mere words. They give a piece of themselves. They offer spiritual protection, unwavering support, and deep love. They treat that bond as a soul connection. But what if that loyalty is betrayed? The answer is simple. There are no second chances. The pain a chosen one feels when betrayed isn't just disappointment. It's as if a piece of their soul is ripped away. They don't respond with loud fury. They don't shout. They don't fight. They simply walk away. They close the door. And that door will never open again. The bond, once eternal, is now dead. And with it dies the protection, the love, and the light that the chosen one once gave. Losing the loyalty of a chosen one is like losing a connection to the divine. And anyone who's had that privilege knows, they'll never find anything like it again. But the gifts of the chosen don't end there. They hold the power to change destinies. Literally. A single encounter with a chosen one can transform an entire life. Their words carry weight. Their presence shifts energy. Their touch awakens dormant potential. Standing before a chosen one is like facing a spiritual mirror, revealing everything true or false within you. For many, that encounter feels like a rebirth. For others, a collapse. Because it's not the chosen one who decides the impact, it's the soul that meets them. Those who are ready will blossom. Those still trapped in shadows will crumble. And that brings us to one of the most mysterious and powerful aspects of the chosen. The invisible war they fight within themselves. Yes, chosen ones are kind, just, and compassionate. But they're also human. And within them, there is a constant battle between light and darkness. They know the pull of shadow as intimately as the path of light. They feel anger, fear, jealousy, pain. But unlike most, they don't deny these emotions. They face them. They dive deep into the abyss of their own soul. They touch the bottom of despair. They taste destruction. But they don't surrender. From there, they rise, stronger, like spiritual warriors. The true power of a chosen one isn't in their perfection, but in their ability to master the chaos that lives within them. This internal battle, however, comes at a cost. It's exhausting, draining, painful. And there are days when the weight becomes almost unbearable. Days when the darkness seems to win. Days when the chosen one wants to give up. But it is this daily resistance, this silent act of continuing, even when everything inside screams to stop, that makes them so powerful. And here lies the danger. Because if one day, A chosen one grows tired of the fight. If they decide to surrender to the darkness, the world will witness a kind of force it has never seen before. An energy that doesn't destroy out of impulse, but out of justice. A cold, surgical fury, driven not by ego, but by a mission to restore balance. And nothing, absolutely nothing, will be able to stop it. With every passing minute, the tension builds. The gifts, the pain, the limits, all intensify. And as this spiritual energy gathers within them, a question becomes impossible to ignore. What happens when a chosen one can no longer contain that power? There is a moment that defines the destiny of every chosen one. The moment when the power contained within them is finally released. And that moment rarely happens in front of applause or recognition. On the contrary, it usually comes after a blatant injustice, an irreparable loss, a deep betrayal. It's when the pain crosses the threshold of the bearable and gives way to righteous fury. But be warned. This has nothing to do with an impulsive outburst of anger. The rage of a chosen one is not loud. It is silent and lethal. It is the fury of justice, not of ego. It doesn't erupt without reason, nor is it fueled by wounded pride. It arises when the natural order has been violated, when balance has been broken, and when no one else dares to act. In that moment, the chosen one transforms. They stop being just a being of light and become the very instrument of truth. Their presence changes. Their gaze hardens. Their voice carries weight. They do not hesitate. They do not retreat. They strike with precision, as if guided by a higher consciousness. Because they are. This fury seeks no revenge, it seeks restoration. It does not feed on meaningless suffering. It aims at the exact root of injustice and annihilates it. Righteous fury is so powerful that even the chosen one's allies fear it. Because once that energy is released, no plea, no tears, no regret can stop it. And it is at this peak moment that many finally realize a truth they ignored for far too long. The chosen were never here to please. They were here to transform. And transformation hurts. They are like fire, purifying, but also consuming. Like a blade, cutting but also liberating. Like a storm, terrifying, but cleansing the skies. But what guides that force? What keeps the chosen one moving? Even after so much pain, so much loss, so much heartbreak. It's the calling. A silent yet relentless voice echoing deep within the soul of the chosen one. From the moment they awaken. A mission beyond any personal desire. Beyond any earthly plan. The chosen do not live just for themselves. They know, even if they've never heard it aloud, they were born for something greater. And that knowledge propels them. Even when they try to live a normal life, even when they wish for nothing more than peace, that voice reaches them. It stirs them. It demands they rise and continue, because they feel that as long as they are alive, there is something they must do. Something in the world depends on their action. Something in the universe needs their light. And when they accept that calling, when they finally surrender to the mission, something extraordinary happens. They become unstoppable. Nothing can stand in the way of a chosen one who's aligned with their purpose. Not fear, not pain, not even time itself. Their determination becomes supernatural. Their faith, unshakable. Their courage, incomprehensible. And it is at this point that the chosen one is no longer just a spiritual being. They become a legend. But this transformation doesn't happen in front of crowds. There are no cameras, no stages. The chosen one who becomes a legend does so in silence, in lonely hours before dawn, in invisible battles, in tears shed when no one is watching. They are forged in solitude, tested through pain, and approved through persistence. Few ever reach that level. Many fall along the way. Others get lost in the temptations of pride, seduced by vanity, or exhausted by the weight of the journey. But those who endure, those who persevere, those who keep going without any guarantees, they become eternal. The chosen one who makes it to the end is not remembered solely for what they accomplished, but for the transformation they sparked in the souls they touched. Their name may be forgotten, but their light remains. Like a seed blooming in hearts they will never know. Like a divine whisper echoing across future generations. Like a presence no one can explain, but everyone can feel. At that point, they no longer belong to this world. They become part of the eternal soul of humanity. Being chosen is not a title. It's not a position. It's not a medal to be worn with pride. Being chosen is a silent burden, an invisible responsibility that burns in the chest day after day. It's carrying within a flame that never goes out, even when everything around feels dark. It's walking between light and shadow, knowing that whichever path they choose, they will be misunderstood by many. The chosen one feels pains they cannot explain. They live dilemmas they cannot share. They perceive things no one else sees. And so, often they walk alone. Not by choice, but because they cannot find someone who speaks the same language of the soul. Because they cannot pretend in empty conversations. Because they do not fit into the shallow molds of the world. But it is in that silence, in that space of solitude, that they find themselves again. They rebuild. They grow stronger. Yes, the chosen one suffers. But their suffering is never in vain. It transforms. It purifies. It prepares. And it is that pain, that long journey through shadow and light, that gives them what the world so desperately needs. A lighthouse in the middle of the storm. When a chosen one fully awakens, they become a force that doesn't seek glory, but brings transformation. They don't speak loudly, but their presence shifts the atmosphere. They don't impose, but their conviction breaks resistance. They don't need to persuade, because their truth simply is. They don't fight to be seen, because their light speaks for itself. And even after they're gone, their impact lingers, like a spiritual fragrance that keeps touching lives. And maybe while you were hearing these words, something inside you began to stir. Maybe you felt a shiver, a tightness in your chest, a silent echo answering deep within your soul. If that happened, then you already know. Maybe you're one of them. Because true chosen ones are not defined by what they do, but by what they carry within. And if the flame that burned throughout this video has sparked something in your spirit, then that same force lives inside you. It may be dormant, weakened, forgotten, but it's there, alive, waiting for the right moment to awaken. And maybe that moment is now. The world is tired of masks, tired of empty promises, of soulless leaders and directionless crowds. The world needs you. Someone who carries light, even when everything is dark. Someone who feels compassion, even when the pain is unbearable. Someone who fights for justice, even when the price is too high. The moral of everything you've heard here is both simple and profound. The chosen are good because they know pain, and they are dangerous because they know truth. Their kindness is not weakness. Their compassion is not naive. They know exactly what's at stake. And even so, they keep going. Because they've understood something that few ever will. That the strength of a true chosen one is not in what they can destroy, but in what they choose to protect. And now, the choice is in your hands. You can ignore this inner voice. You can go on with your life as if nothing has changed. Pretend this was just another video. Or you can answer the call. You can start seeing the world with new eyes. You can awaken the power that's always been inside you, just waiting for a sign. And what if this moment is that sign? What if these words were the spark you've been waiting for? What if today is the day your journey truly begins? You are not alone. Here on this channel, there is a community of souls who also feel, who also fight, who also carry that same light. A spiritual family that understands your pain, your depth, your intensity. A network of the chosen, forming now, and it needs you. So if these words touched your heart, if you felt something real, something greater than yourself, subscribe now. This space was created for you. Share this message with others who also need to remember who they are. Like this video, but more than that, let your light shine. Because the era of the chosen ones has already begun. And even if the world doesn't know it yet, it's waiting for you.